Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about creating content. And more importantly, as you can see in the title, getting out of your own way when creating content. I find that we have so many thoughts about showing up and creating content. And the act of actually posting content, like taking your phone, putting an idea down, typing it up, hitting post, it takes all of maybe like 5-10 minutes, right? But we can spend an hour, if not hours, on this because it creates these thoughts that show up in our reality around content, right? Like if you've been in my world, you know everything comes down to the way that you think and what you believe about marketing, about content, about showing up, about your clients, about yourself, about your offer, about money. This all impacts the way that you navigate that world, right? The way that you navigate money, the way you think about money, the way that things that you believe about money are going to impact the way that you handle money. Just the same with content, just the same with relationships, just the same with everything else. So when you are creating content and your head is like the actual act of it is type it up, right? Open up the app, type it up, hit post, and there it is. It's into the world. But we make it this huge thing because inside our brain, this is what's happening. We're going, oh my God, what is this person going to think? Oh my gosh, what if my mom sees this? Oh my gosh, there's this one person that might not agree with this one thing that I have in the caption. Oh, the caption needs to look a certain way. Oh, I need to make sure that there are hashtags. I have to make sure it's aesthetically pleasing. Does it fit in with my feed? Is this really what I want to say? Is there a better way I can say this? All of these things, like, does this fall in line with the content I should be sharing in my niche and my content topics and my pillars? Like, we just have so much noise in our heads about the way that content should look, rather than just allowing ourselves to take up space and say whatever the fuck it is we want to say, right? What if every single time you had a thought, you just allowed yourself not to have any mind drama? You just decided, this is how I'm showing up. This is what I want to share, allowing your voice to be heard and seen, and you put it out there and you move on, right? And nobody dies and nothing dramatic happens. The world doesn't fall apart. But what I tend to see happen in my students is they get really in their heads, especially when something doesn't feel aligned, or it feels like, I don't know if I want to post this because what if it leads to, maybe not, like, someone doesn't sign up, or maybe this leads to something not working in my business, or an offer that maybe no one takes me up on, right? And so we have all these thoughts about even trying to protect ourselves from the future of someone not signing up in the future, and protecting ourselves from that disappointment. And so it ends up being like us not even posting anything at all, or changing the entire thing so that it is more watered down. Sometimes there are things we really want to share with our audience that is just so aligned to our truth, and yet we water it down. We make it sound so much more acceptable so that we can appease certain people or please certain people, right? And so it ends up not even being our voice anyway. I want to challenge you, when you're creating your content, to be loud and to be unapologetic and to not give a fuck about what people think. If you have to block people, if you have to mute people, if you have to restrict your settings on Instagram or Facebook or wherever it needs to be in order for you to loudly and proudly speak your truth, then do it. It is so important for you to get your message out there. And I think a lot of us think very short term with our content. Like, is this post going to get me a client or not? Is this something that's going to work in my business or not? Is this post going to lead to a sale or not, right? Rather than seeing it as us building this recurring practice of us showing up and also showing certain aspects of our humanity that maybe isn't normally what our people will see, right? We have to remind ourselves when it comes to content that our people are only going to see what we allow them to see. So if we allow them in and we invite them into certain aspects of our lives that are very human and raw and vulnerable and things that you maybe wouldn't see on a daily basis, it helps them build this relationship of trust and companionship, and it builds a personal connection where someone feels safe enough in your presence. They feel like they know you enough to take it to that next level. If you see marketing as taking your relationship with your clients to the next level, aka sales, aka them wanting to say yes to working with you, you approach it in a such different way. Marketing gets to be a way that you serve your people through different types of content. And you just showing up and sharing what's on your mind is also serving people. You showing up and just sharing specific thoughts or a certain story or something you thought was funny or what you had for lunch today, whatever it might be, right? That is still value. That is also value. That is you showing up and sharing aspects of who you are that builds a personal connection with somebody who sees you as more of a well-rounded human. If we're only ever talking about coaching and we're only ever talking about our niche and we're only ever talking about it in one way, in one dimensional way, because some coach or guru told you at some point that you can only talk about one specific thing, like just imagine like how restrictive that is, that you're putting yourself in a box rather than allowing yourself to unapologetically show up in all these aspects of who you are. You are infinitely dimensional. You are infinitely drawn naturally to so many different things. And the more you incorporate that in your marketing and in your content and the way that you show up, the more someone builds a personal connection and relationship with you, right? And that's what makes them want to take things to the next level, right? So often, when my students, either come to me or other people will come to me, or I'll see this, because I just see a lot of business coaches and or business owners and a lot of coaches will say things like, I don't know why I'm not making sales in my business, or I don't know why people aren't showing up, but they haven't shown up in their business. They haven't shown up creating content. They haven't provided value. They aren't serving their clients. They aren't thinking about what will benefit their clients. They're just sitting and expecting sales just because they have a business, right? Just because you have a business doesn't mean that you're owed sales. So you really have to identify, how am I creating breakthroughs? How am I creating results for my clients, for my community, before they even say yes to working with me? Because by the time they want to say yes, by the time they're, paying the invoice or DMing you, I'm in, I need to join this program, or I need to join this offer or course, they've already gotten to a point where they are like at full capacity of your magic, your value, and who you are. If you are not providing that for them, if you are not showing them, hey, this is who I am, this is why you can trust me, this is how my brain thinks, this is what I experience on a day-to-day basis, this is my home life, this is all of these things, they're not going to have this aspect of you that they're saying yes to, right? Every time you share something, every time you put something out there, every time you show a little bit of yourself, you are strengthening trust. And what you're also doing is you're creating decisions, right? When you're very clear about your truth and what you're speaking and how you're articulating that, you are creating decisions. You're creating decisions for people to say, I don't know if this person is for me, and leaving, or you are creating people who are going, wow, this is exactly what I need to see. This is exactly what I haven't seen in the industry. This is exactly something that serves me specifically, and I need to pay close attention to this person, and it helps them to build trust. This is why I have students that I've never spoken a word to them, and they're in my DMs going, hey, the first message they'll send me is, hey, I'm ready to join your program. I'm ready to join Magic Mind, or I'm ready to join BAA. Here's like 5K. Here's 10K. Or even my one-on-ones, which are at 20K right now. They will literally say, hey, I'm ready to join. I'm ready to do the 20K. Let's go. Right. And so you never know who is in your audience that is lurking and watching and keeping their eye on you. Typically, not every single person who's eyeing your stuff and building trust with you is messaging you and telling you every single time. There will be some people who do that. But there also will be people who do this very silently. And once they reach a full capacity of, yep, I've got value, I've got breakthroughs, I've got miracles, I know who this person is, I trust this person, I like this person, like I feel like I can get value from this person, I believe this person can get me results, right? They've built a certain amount of trust, they've built a certain amount of value in their tank in order for them to be like, all right, like, let's go, let's work together, take my money, like, I'm so excited to work with you. That is how you create fuck yes clients, is when you show up in your content, you don't let any of that brain drama get in the way. You don't let any of that mindset drama get in the way of like, what is this person going to think? Or what about this person? Or it needs to look like this. It needs to be aesthetically pleasing. Like, I want you to release all of that and see how your voice, your truth, your message, your mission, and your vision is worthy of taking up space. I want you to see how just you showing up, your existence, even just your face, provides value. You are a valuable human, so anything you say is inherently valuable. And if you show up with those thoughts when you're creating and posting content versus what is this person going to think? It needs to look a certain way. It needs to be perfectly grammatically correct and aesthetically pleasing and all the things. I promise you, you're going to have such a much more fun time creating content and connecting with your people, because they can also feel your energy. It'll be lighter. It'll be more energetic. It'll be more magnetic. You're going to feel good when you're creating your content because you're telling yourself, I'm valuable. I am magical. The way my brain works is 1 in 7 billion. I am this unique, valuable human that is here offering you these incredible pieces of content. And it gets to be so magnetizing, and it gets to create these emotions of, wow, I really want to work with this person. Right. And I want you to see how without all of that, people aren't able to identify that they want to work with you. And I think sometimes when we think of creating content or showing up consistently, which I don't love the word consistently, I love the word like devotion or creating a frequency or creating a rhythm, right? Because it doesn't need to be daily or multiple times a day, even though it can look like that. I think a lot of our thoughts are like, this is going to take so much work and this is going to be so much on me and it's going to be so overwhelming to show up and create content, right? But what actually ends up being the exhausting part of it is our mental drain. Our mental drain comes from these thoughts, from this mind drama that we create in our own heads. That's literally this ball of spaghetti, this tangled spaghetti between us and creating content. And so what we end up doing is just throwing our hands in the air, not posting anything at all, because we create so much mental drama and mental drain around one post and around how it should look and what it should look like and what it needs to include and what topics I need to talk about. And I can't go beyond that. And there's all these restricting and limiting rules that I want you to release. And I want to give you permission to just remove from your auric field and really ask yourself, what do I want to feel when I'm creating content? What do I want to experience? What is the emotion? What is the sensation? What are the thoughts, right? How can I allow myself to put ideas onto the phone, into the caption, press post, and trust that that is enough. Just trusting that whatever I have to say is valuable. I am valuable of taking up space. I am worthy of taking up space. And when you believe that, and when you tell yourself that, and when you approach your content in that way, I promise your content is going to feel so much more energizing. It's going to attract your fuck yes clients so much faster and with much more strength and force. And it's going to create these incredible connections with your people when you allow yourself to show up in all different aspects, right? It could be as simple as getting a tripod, setting it up and sitting in front of your laptop, showing yourself working, or showing a day in your life. I posted a couple of day in the life videos recently in my reels. If you want to go and check them out and use them for inspiration, do a little voiceover, right? Or share like certain aspects of my day, right? Whether I'm recording a podcast or recording content for one of my offers, maybe working with coaching clients. There's so many things that you can share about your life and that you can turn into content that ends up being valuable for someone else. But you have to believe that your content, and more importantly, you are valuable first. When you believe you're valuable and you believe your content is valuable, you believe your coaching is valuable, you believe that you are a valuable human, this is how your content and your coaching and your magic will be received by your community. So I want to challenge you to think about your thoughts about marketing, because it typically isn't that it's marketing that's holding us back. It's the thoughts that we have about marketing that holds us back. I'm going to repeat that again. It's not marketing or creating content that holds us back or creates the drain. It's the thoughts about marketing, or it's the thoughts about creating content that end us holding us back because of all of this mental drain and mental overwhelm it's creating inside our bodies. And it's time to shift that. It's time to release outdated rules that don't serve you. And it's time to show up and create content and stop letting things get in your way. All right. If you loved this episode and you loved this conversation and the way that I talk about marketing, join us inside Business Activation Academy. This is my foundational signature course. I absolutely love this community. It is such an incredible, welcoming, inviting, safe space and family of incredible coaches and business owners and service providers and educators and mentors and magicians. I call it the Magic Business School. Business Activation Academy is open for you to join. I have payment plan options available on the invite page, on the sales page. As soon as you check out, you get immediate access to the course. We have 6 core modules and a mini course called Aligned Client Playground that you get immediate access to and lifetime access to. And you also get immediate access to our live coaching calls that happen twice a month. That's first and third Wednesdays of every single month that do not expire. Once you're in the community, you're in it for life, right? I just hosted a coaching call today for BAA, and we had people who joined us in the first round, and we had people who joined us that joined last week. It is an incredible community of 50 plus coaches, magicians, healers, mentors that are all here to really grow a sustainable business. Have fun with your marketing. Let it be magical. Let it be multidimensional. Having fun with your sales and doing it in a unique way that fits your audience and your business and your vision. Everything is tailored to your energy and what you want to create rather than what worked for me or what worked for someone else. We're running experiments and we're testing and we're coaching and we're personalizing your business to you and what you want to create and what works for you. So if that lights you up, if that feels like a fuck yes, I invite you to join us inside Business Activation Academy. You can access BAA through the link in the show notes, or you can type into your internet browser, tiffanychong.co/BAA. That's TIFFANYCHEUNG.co/BAA. You could read all about it. All of the information that you need is in there. If you have any questions, you can always DM me. I'm always happy to do a little DM consult in the DMs and send some voice notes back and forth, and even create a custom game plan to see how BAA is going to help you specifically in your business. It's mainly for coaches who are just starting in the beginning of their business. They don't even know what they want to coach on. They don't even have an offer. You're going to come into BAA. You're going to be connected to your offer, to your magic. You're going to design a coaching offer, learn how to market it, learn how to sell it, and do it in your way, right? Create a process that really works specifically for you, for your audience, and really start to get your offer out there, working with coaching clients, working with paid clients, and growing your business. And for the coaches that have already started and they're not seeing the results they want, come in, let me coach you. Let me get to the root of what's happening so we can create a sustainable process that creates abundance and money and clients and all of the joy in your business. I cannot wait to be your coach. All right. All that info is in the show notes. DM me if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.